Today I would like to introduce you to the bobber. This is a dowsing tool, one of many. Some people use pendulums, others use dowsing rods and all kinds of other fun and fantastic gadgets. But this is used for dowsing, and I got the bobber at the Raymon Grace site. If you've never taken a Raymon Grace class, I suggest you go onto the website, see if he's coming to a city near you, and take one, because I got so much dowsing information from his class, and you can get really creative with it. And what I like the most about his information is that he really does put the power back into the people's hands, so you're not helpless. You can do things about what's going on in your life, and that is very cool. Up next, Angeli had an opportunity to speak to Raymon Grace, and he shared a few points of view with the Think Tinkers. Stay tuned.
Hi guys, this is Angeli with Think Tinkers, and I have with me Raymon Grace, and I have the great privilege of asking him a couple of questions today about what he does, which is dowsing, and he basically works with energy. He's been doing this for over 40 years, and just want to hear about his art and want to hear how this is helping people change their lives and take the control back of their own lives. So thank you, Raymon, for sitting with us. Absolutely. And so the first question here is there anything too large to douse?
Well, we haven't fixed the whole world yet, but we're gaining on it. There does seem to be a limitation, which is probably variable, as to how much one person can actually do. We have pretty good evidence that 2 people actually lowered the crime rate in Baltimore to the lowest in 43 years. I have a nice letter from a Canadian Mountie thanking me for cleaning up the violent crime in the Eskimo village, and this was up on the Arctic Circle. And so at that point I had never cleaned up a whole village, but it worked. So yeah, probably can't clean up the whole country, but we're getting there.
We're working on it. So the second question we have here, the Think Tinkers, is if you could give one piece of advice to the world, what would it be? You
have a choice which future you create, or an infinite number of probable futures. Whichever one happens to you depends upon what you do about it.
Excellent. The subject of free will with dowsing comes up quite often. What is right and wrong as far as sending conscious energy to an individual or to change a situation? What is right and wrong as far as the free will aspect of it?
My criteria for right and wrong is simply, does it create more problems than it solves, or does it solve more than it creates? That's really all I'm concerned about. I don't think you can make a person get well if they don't want to get well. I don't even think you should try. But if there is a dangerous person in your neighborhood creating a lot of problems, you can usually change their behavior. Not always, but the very best way to depower an evil person is to depossess them. And what I use is a pendant, and this is a bullet on a chain.
Excellent.
And that's my tool. That's what I use all the time. And when people tell me you can't do anything without another person's permission, I just ask them, do you really think that I tracked down all the serial rapists and serial killers that I worked on and asked if I could change their behavior? So no, I don't even bother with that.
Good answer, good answer. Okay, so what is the coolest thing you have experienced with the Flower of Life? I do see that Raymon has a couple of YouTube videos out there. On his website, you can also check out the Flower of Life that they create. It's a copper flower?
It is made of copper and brass. One of my friends up in Canada makes it, and when I first started working with this, it was kind of an experiment to see what we could do. And we've been experimenting with energizing water. And I'll keep the story very brief. But we had a 23,000-gallon swimming pool there. And I got to thinking, this Flower of Life produces an energy. Most people can feel it. I can't, but most people do. And I, with intent and dowsing, put the energy of the Flower of Life that was right there physically present into that swimming pool, and we expanded the energy field of the pool from about 3 feet out to over 200 feet. But this is what happened next. the owner of the pool, the man who made the Flower of Life, had burned his arm, and it was not healing very well. So he went in the pool that night for a swim, came out. Not only was the burn gone, there was no scar. But then, he, very benevolent fella, he went out and got some of his friends and neighbors that had aches and pains in the limbs and brought them in sort of like a sheep dip, run them in one side of the pool and out the other, let them splash around in it. And when they come out, they didn't hurt. And I used some of the water some of the same methods to energize a therapy pool in Wyoming. And the person who was the therapist called me just a few hours later and says, "What have you done to our pool?" The arthritic patients that normally out there complaining about aches and pains are having a party.
That's great. Now we know it works. So if you could sum up what you do, basically as far as energy, as far as dowsing, how would you sum that up for people in a layman's terms?
Okay, well, everything I do is in layman's terms. Watermelon is the biggest word I know. So all my work is based on three very simple principles. Number one, all things, literally everything, is composed of energy, and the intelligent human mind can properly direct energy. Principle number two, energy is impressed upon matter. That means we are affected by everywhere we've been, people we associate with, and things that happen to us. And principle number three, I borrowed from Einstein, of energy follows thought. Wherever you put your thought, you put your energy. So literally you create what happens to you, good or bad.
So would you say that intention and focus are really the key factors?
I would say that focused intent is the key factor. Dowsing is simply a way to help the mind focus. That's all it is. There's nothing magical about the bullet. It's a bullet. That's all. Appears with power is.
Yes, yes. So there you guys have it. Raymon Grace, we have a great honor of sitting with him today. He's been doing this for quite a long time and really helping a lot of people in the community. How many countries have you?
Right now we're reaching 142 countries.
So it's a powerful message, and on the Think Tinkers website we do have all of Raymon Grace's links on there. We also have a bunch of links to his YouTube videos. Check it out. It's a great work, and we're happy to have him with us today.
Thanks for the invitation.
Absolutely.
Don't forget to use your bobber. The bobber's fun, actually. I like it. Ooh.